Well, the last few days have been quite extraordinary. Us here in the UK, we've just entered the second phase of lockdown. So right now, there's a lot of stress for a lot of people. For me, it's time to hit the studio and create something a bit more chilled, a bit more laid back, something to relax the mind, shift the focus from all of the madness that's going on. So let's get it. Hey squad, welcome back to the studio. Now today, we're continuing our series, Producing in Colour. And as you know, I love to incorporate my electric bass and my electric guitar in my productions. Now for those of you who don't own either of those instruments, or maybe you don't play them, I've got 3 high quality software instruments that I'm going to demonstrate today, which are absolutely free to download. And I'll be using these to create a very chilled vibe, because that's what I need right now. So remember, if you're feeling what I'm doing, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so all 3 of the VSTs that we're looking at today are from amplesound.net. We'll be looking at the Ample Bass P2 Lite, the Ample Guitar M2 Lite, and the Ample Percussion Cloud Drum. Now if you hop over to amplesound.net, you go to the downloads page, you can download all these 3 free of charge. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to see what this Ample P Bass 2 sounds like, and it's actually pretty good. So yeah, really cool sound. There's lots of controls here. You can mess with the acoustic, noise, auto, bars, different fret noise settings. Another great thing you can do as well, you can detune each of these strings by clicking right here. So this is your normal tuning. If you click and drag, you can tune down by 2 semitones each of these strings. What I would generally do with this is I'd send it to a bus. So I'd output the channel here to a bus. I'm using bus 20 for now. I'll go to settings at the top here, and I'll go down to legacy and choose from GarageBand or Jam Pack, and then I'll select bass, and then I can load up some bass preset effects, which are really cool. At the moment I'm using this deep reggae bass tone, which I'm loading up now. That gives me a more rounded sort of sound. And you can go through and choose different Logic presets that would work with your bass tone. The same will apply with the guitar as well. Let's just touch that guitar real quick. So of course with a guitar you've only got 6 strings on a guitar. Unlike a guitar preset you get in Logic, where it doesn't matter how many notes you press, it will still sound those guitar notes. This is quite selective. You can only play a maximum of 6 notes, providing they are spread across all 6 strings. So for example, if I wanted to play a C minor chord like this, as you can see, these 2 notes are on the same string and this one is on the next string. So you're only going to get these 2 notes sounding, which is in a way trying to emulate what you'd get if you're playing an actual guitar. So when it comes to voicing your chords, that's one thing that you need to keep in mind when you're playing this instrument. The best way to do it actually is to arpeggiate your chords in, so roll them in. Rather than pushing the chord all in one go, you roll them in like so. As well, you've got all of these options right here where you can mess with the articulations of the guitar. You've got an effects section here that again you can apply some effects to it and just have some fun. It's a really easy to use instrument. Alright, let's move on to the cloud drum. It's quite a unique instrument. They're really sort of bell sounding tones that we're dealing with here. So let me play this right here. Lovely tones. Again, we can go through the presets like so. You've got quite a few presets there. You've got some editing you can do here in terms of adjusting the sound, the tone and everything. And once again, it's a free plugin, but it adds something extra to your arsenal. So we're going to create something nice and chilled using these three instruments. We're going to add some drums to it and let's see what we come up with. Okay, I'm going to kick things off with a chord progression on the acoustic guitar. Okay, the guitar's down, so it's time now to put down the bass line. So let's do that. Okay, things are shaping up nicely. We've got the bass line down, we've got the guitar down, and now it's time for me to add the cloud drum. First of all, I'm going to add a few simple notes. It's kind of a melody, using just bell tones, and then I'll use the cloud pad sound to add some chords, and if I fancy it, I'll drop something else in. But let's get this down. Okay, so have a quick listen to the cloud drum parts that I've put down. So we've got the synth bell there, which is the melody that I just showed you. Then I've got some chords using the cloud pad. And I've just got a little riff here with the high bell. Now I've decided to add a guitar melody to complement the guitar chords that I put down earlier. I've adjusted some of the parameters on this instance of the plugin, and I'm having it play on the second 8 bars. So check this out. Okay, so we're definitely getting there. Things are sounding really nice and chilled, and that's exactly what I set out to achieve. Now I've added one additional element, as you can see right here, and that is some rainfall. And as I'm sure you know, the sound of rainfall is a very calming thing. By weaving this into the production, it's definitely adding another relaxing, calm element. So check this out. Okay, so we're getting real close to finishing. I think what I'll do now is add some drums, and if there's anything else that's needed, I'll add it on. I've already started arranging the production anyway, so I'll finish arranging it after the drums, and then we'll call it a wrap. Okay, so before I put down the kick and the snare drum, I've added these elements right here. So I've got some percussion, I've got a crackle effect sound, and I've got the hats. We'll go through the hats in a second, but this is what the percussion and crackle sound like. Okay, and now the hats. Right, now I want to show you what I've done with the hats, because this is quite a handy tip for you. So here's my hi-hat pattern on its own. And as you can see, the hits aren't exactly on the line. What I did was I used the humanize function, which is Command 9 to pull that up, and then you go in here and you choose humanize, and then you can set the amount of variation you want in terms of randomizing the velocity and the position of each hit. So I've got each of these slightly off the line in terms of grid. Next thing I've done is I've filtered a lot of the low and mid frequencies out. So I just want that top end. And the other thing I've done is I've added a tape delay. So check this out. Okay, so that's bypassed now. And then let's switch it back in. Okay, so it's giving that sort of shuffle on the hi-hats. Okay, and now let's hear these together. Okay, so a nice shuffling rhythm there, and I'm going to put down my kick and snare. What I'm going to do now is edit these drums up, get everything nice and tight, and then we'll play this track out. Great stuff. I really do hope you found the video useful. If you did, drop me a line in the comment section, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. This will really help me out. Now remember to support me at deucebeats.com as well as on my social media channels. And finally, switch on that notification bell so just like the rest of the MTTC squad, you will find out as soon as my next video drops. Until next time, I'm Dr. Deuce. Peace.